Welcome to the third video on becoming a great mover on the tennis court. After covering ready and read in the first two videos, we now move on to the third part in the 5 R's of movement, and that is the react part. Do you know the 4 different movement zones and how you should move into each zone? Each zone requires different movement patterns, and getting this right is how the best players in the world make their movement look so effortless. In today's video, Ian will explain basic concepts about the 4 different movement zones, and then he'll show you in detail how you can practice efficient movement in the rhythmical zone. Let's go out to the court and get started.
Okay, that brings us to the react part of the movement module. So when you start to react to the ball, you need to, of course, know where you're reacting to. That's why understanding or anticipating where the ball is going to bounce is so critical. That's the first thing. That's what you saw me do in the previous video. But that's critical because it determines what type of footwork you're going to use. So as far as reaction to the ball, you have to understand the court is divided into different areas. I mean, sometimes you have to move laterally, sometimes you have to move diagonally, sometimes you have to move back, different directions. As far as movement laterally, I put the cones out here for you so you can see. We divide the court up in 4 different movement areas. So if from the middle of the court, this cone here would represent the step out area or the step out zone, the step out movement zone. Okay, now against good players, you don't really get too many balls in your step out zone. Good players will try to get you into the other areas. They're not going to keep the ball or hit the ball down the middle of the court, but it happens. It happens. So you need to understand that if a ball is in your step out zone, it's a simple step out to get behind the ball. If a ball comes in this area, if a ball comes over this cone, all right, now we're moving into what we call a rhythmical zone. Okay, so the rhythm zone is critical because you don't really want to cross your feet over to that area. You want to keep your feet apart. So it's very important that you understand. That's why I showed you all these drills about how to respect your base. If you don't need to move your feet together or cross them over, you want to try to avoid that at all costs. You want to try to keep your feet apart and try to respect your base. Of course, the opponent is not going to always allow you to do that. The opponent is going to try to run you to get you to cross over and bring your feet together. The opponent wants you to be off balance. So when you move into a rhythmical zone, then it's a simple double rhythm action. So if you watch my feet here, as I land on my outside leg, I simply go double rhythm to the right. Can you see? It's not this kind of thing. It's not this kind of thing. It's definitely not this kind of thing when I'm moving into this zone. Now, when the ball starts to go beyond my rhythmical zone here, then of course I cannot shuffle anymore. I cannot use rhythm steps to get to that cone because it's going to take forever. So that zone we call the crossover zone. But basically what it means is if I'm in the middle of the court, I'm now going to start to turn my feet and drive across to get to this cone, right? Rhythm steps will not get me there anymore. So I have to make a pivot here, push against the ground and drive to get to that cone, all right? Now, if I have to go beyond that, then of course, now it becomes a sprint, right? So that's why we call that the running zone. And the most effective way to run somewhere, of course, is to do a drop step. Okay, so if you watch me carefully, I'm going to start in a fairly wide base. I'm going to split step in a wide base. This foot is going to drop under my body. You see? So I pull this foot under my body to give myself almost like creating a starting block here, right? On the ball of my foot. So I can start to sprint to the ball that's far away.
Okay, so that was a little introduction to the 4 different movement zones on the court. Now we can't go into detail on all the 4 movement zones in this video, but we want to give you a better idea about efficient movement in the rhythmical zone. This zone is very important because we hit a lot of balls in this zone, and Ian will share some of his favorite drills with you.
Okay, let's look at the rhythmical zone next. So you remember the step out zone was here, the rhythmical zone was the next one. Rhythmical zone in different directions. I think no matter what level you play, especially as recreational players, you want to definitely learn rhythm steps. Rhythm steps are key to good movement and comfort zone. Why? Because the rhythm steps will give you a fixed center of gravity. Remember, I talked about the importance of establishing and maintaining your base, and the only way to really do that in a comfort zone is by using rhythm steps. And rhythm steps, not the type of rhythm step that will bring your feet together, but the kind of rhythm step that we spoke about before, the one that's going to maintain that base, the shorter steps that will establish and maintain that balance base between your feet. So if I have to move to the right, notice how I move my feet out to this ball. I move in rhythm steps, and I get my foot on the inside of the ball, but you don't really see this kind of thing, and you don't see this kind of thing. I simply push my leg out, and this foot just follows. And notice it doesn't follow the toe, like I hear a lot of coaches teaching you that the toe to the heel. No, this one actually follows in front, so I can get more into a semi-open or later even a neutral stance. If I need to move back, the same thing. I land on my left foot like we decided, and I shuffle back in choppy steps, rhythm steps this way. If I need to move to this ball, I move in rhythm steps this way. If I need to move forward, I land and I move in rhythm steps this way. If I need to go to the backhand, I land on my left foot and I move in choppy steps this way. And you notice how the balance it gives me. Because I'm using small rhythm steps, my feet are staying under my body. We see this so much. Trust me, not just recreational tennis. I have advanced players that don't quite understand balance, that will go here to this type of shot and lunge into the ball, and the feet separate like this far before they hit the ball. Okay, let's do a drills that I do in the rhythmical zone. All right, so the rhythmical zone is important. That's why we're going to do a few extra videos on that just to show you. So in this one, I'm going to show you the lateral movement, side to side. So I'm going to bring Elizabeth in, and I want you to see how she uses rhythm steps to a rhythm zone. So at first, we're going to stand still. I'm going to have her stand still. She's not going to move, and she's going to catch these balls off the outside foot like we did before in the step out zone. So I want her to use the right foot and right hand, go double rhythm to the right, and you'll notice when she steps out, she'll step out heel first. This is another common problem we see. When people step out, they use the toe. Why? Because most of us were taught that, to stay on our toes, which is not incorrect. Toes actually meaning the balls of the feet. But when you start to move, it actually becomes a little bit of a heel sport, right? So you notice she's going to step out on her heel on this side and this side. So I'm going to toss her the ball to the right, and I want her to take 2 steps. The right foot goes first, the left foot follows, but the left foot doesn't slide all the way up to the right foot, so we can respect that distance, so we can be quick. This makes you very slow. When you step out and your feet slide together, I call it inchworm movement. You know those inchworms when they stretch their bodies out and they bring the body together. So it's step out, slide together, step out, slide together. We call it heel clicking. You can see how my heels click, they come together. That makes you slow. So I wanted to go rhythm steps to the right. Just show me real quick. Step out to your right without the ball, double rhythm. That's all I wanted to do now. So when I toss her the ball, I wanted to catch it like that, doing a double rhythm step. See, double rhythm, back. And to the left, step out, double rhythm, perfect. Step to the right, double rhythm, back. Step to the left, double rhythm, back. And you notice she's standing still at first. She's doing it stationary first. I don't want her in the beginning to get all bouncy. I want to make sure the form is correct first, and then we can go to the rest of it. Now I wanted to stand still again. I wanted to do rhythm steps, but this time I'm going to ask her to step down. So getting behind the ball with the outside leg, but then stepping down with the front leg. All right, again from a stationary position. Watch. And rhythm down. Okay, quicker steps. Rhythm down. Quicker steps. Pa 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 pa. Very good. And pa 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 pa. Okay, and when you do it well, you'll find that in order to get balance before you catch, you have to speed your feet up. Another common problem players have is to slow the feet down and actually to move at the speed of the ball. So if I toss the ball at 1 mile per hour, you want to actually move at 2 miles per hour. When you play the game, somebody hits the ball at 10 miles per hour, you attempt to move at 20. You try to go at double the pace of the ball, right? It's not always possible, but that's what you're trying to do. You're always trying to beat the ball to the bounce. That means you have to use fast feet, right? So I'm going to ask her to do the same thing again, but this time I want her rhythm to change. I want her to rhythm to be like this. You hear it? It's fast feet, so it looks like this from the front. Pa 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 pa. So I stay close to the ground, but you can hear on my feet that squeaking noise. That squeaking noise is because I use fast feet and I'm not sliding my feet together. So listen to the pros' feet when you watch a pro tournament, how many times they squeak the feet, and that's the reason. All right, now do it for me again, but do it with slightly faster feet this time. Ready? And fast feet. Very good. Back. And fast feet. Very good. And 2 more. Fast feet. Very, very good. And fast feet. Beautiful. All right, now we're gonna do the same thing again, and I'm gonna do it. I'm going to use the machine again. And again, you don't need the machine. You can use your hands. If you want to practice it, just let somebody stand in front of you and make it unpredictable. So don't point in right, left, right, left. Have them watch you, and when you point to this side, they react to that side. Make it a bit unpredictable so that they don't know exactly where you're pointing. The machine is unpredictable. The lights don't necessarily go right and left. So you have to be alert. All right. So watch, she's going to stand there. This time, we're going to start to add the ready position. Okay, so we're going to start to add ready, read, react. Okay, so she's going to start bouncing. She's going to start bouncing in place. Now just do one without the machine. Just bounce in place. Now when the light comes on, she's going to try to elevate a little bit, right? So when the player on that side makes contact, you start to elevate like we discussed before, and then you react to the side where the light shows. All right, so do it again. Ready steps, watch my hand, read, react. Pa, 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 pa. Faster feet. Watch my hand again. Ready steps, read, react. Excellent. So just like that. So now instead of me doing that, she's going to do it on the machine. Watch. So remember, we're in the reacting phase, and we're reacting into a rhythmical zone. So we go ready, read, react. Watch. Ready, react. Very good. Read, react. Very good. Read, react. Very good. Read, react. Very good. Very good. Very good. Up. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. Excellent. It's great. Okay, and again, be very patient when you do this, because I mean she's an accomplished tennis player. So when you look at her, this is not what you're going to look like when you first start this, especially if you're not used to moving your feet like this. But you have to understand this part where the fact that you do ready steps and that you elevate yourself a little bit. So like we discussed before, that's what's going to get you going. Most recreational players, the reason they don't move well is not necessarily because they're slow. It's because they don't know how to move, right? They get on their heels like this. They start to stand on their heels like this, waiting for the ball like this. Whether they're at the net or on the baseline, the weight falls into the heels. And then the ball comes in and they're dead on their feet. You can't react. We actually see this quite a bit where people actually step back, like this look. They stand like this, we feed them a ball, and they step this way to go that way. So obviously if you move like that, you're already a step and a half behind a good player who reacts like this. every shot she makes, she's going to be a half a step or a step in front of you. So by the third shot, you know, you're way behind the tempo and the rally.
So that's it for the third free video in this brand new movement training. You've seen a small sample of Ian's movement training on the 5 R's of efficient movement. In the next video, we'll explain how you can go a step further so that you can stop chasing balls around the court and instead get in position early. If you stop being a chaser on the court and instead become an anticipator, your shots will become a lot easier and tennis will be a lot more fun. So make sure you check your inbox for that video in the next few days. Right now, if you have any questions or comments on the free movement training, feel free to post them underneath this video.